Drastic changes are being proposed for Thornton Township High School District 205. If these changes were to take effect, in the fall of 2011, Thornridge High School, located in Dalton, Illinois, would become an all-freshman center. At present, Thornton Township High School District 205 is a 9th through 12th grade school system with 3 high schools: Thornton, located in Harvey; Thornwood, located in South Holland; and Thornridge. We urge you to get involved. Save our schools.
Hi, my name is Destiny King, and I go to Thornridge, and I'm in the 10th grade. And I think it's going to be bad to make this a freshman academy, because I'm in a marching band, and my mom went to this school. My sister was in the marching band, and she was drum major. And I was planning on being drum major next year, and I was looking forward to being in the band and graduating from Thornridge High School.
So you're saying this is going to affect the band program?
Yes.
And you think that it's unfair?
Yes, unfair. And we won so many competitions, and we were doing a good job, and we all want to just stay together.
And I do understand that we do have a Golden Apple Award instructor.
Yeah.
So how do you think that happens? What about the alumni?
They're just gonna be feeling real bad, and we doing all this stuff, and it's like the alumni, they want them to come back and see all the achievements we did and stuff, but they can't do that because we're gonna all be separated.
Thank you so much. And we have someone else here. We have a mom and a homeowner. How do you feel about what's happening in District 205?
Well, I do not agree with this, and as a homeowner and a concerned parent, I want my daughter to continue at Thornridge. I want the kids to stay at Thornton and to stay at Thornwood. We're going to fight this. We're just going to fight this. We do not appreciate you trying to shove something down our throat and force our kids to be bused somewhere else. Come on, we're asking for SOS. We need help, and we want it now. We're going to fight. We're going to fight this to the end.
Do you understand that our property taxes will go up? They will constantly increase. Our property values will decline. This is not just for Thornridge High School. We're talking about saving communities. We're not just talking about Dalton. We're talking about South Holland. We're talking about Harvey. We're talking about Calumet City. We're talking about Hazelcrest. We're talking about Burnham. We're talking about a lot of those 13 townships that will be feeding to one school, and also messing with the stability of those young people and their rankings. When you bring other children into another building, they lose their rankings, and there's no way that you're going to have to compete. And every building for the last 30 years that I've been around, that they've had rankings that young people from those first 10 or those first 30 in their classrooms. But we do have another person that would like to speak to you today. You are?
Alicia, and I'm a sophomore at Thornridge High School. And I feel that once that we move with a lot of other children that think that they're #1 in sports or academics, we may be left behind as #1 at Thornridge, but number 23 at Thornton and or Thornwood. So that's gonna make like a lot of havoc as well, and chaos. And also, as being on other teams as rivalries, the coaches may be biased as in who's #1, and be biased as in who should play, and then that's going to raise even more chaos. And so I just don't think that it's fair, as all our communities being smushed together, and it doesn't make sense. Thank you.
So we have another young lady here that wanted to say something. Can you give us your name and your rank?
Elaine Russell, and I'm ranked number 5 in my junior class, and I'm also an athlete. And in my opinion, it's just not fair. It's not right that we should have to be moved from where I've been for 3 years as a junior. And I just don't know, I don't want to go to Thornwood or Thornton. I like where I'm at right now. And just the fact that we have to be bused from Thornton or Thornwood back to Thornridge just to play the sport that we playing is not right. I play softball and basketball, and I like playing where I'm at. So, and me being in the top 10, it's questionable, like, am I still going to get the scholarships that I would have if I stayed at Thornridge? So it's just not fair. It's not right, in my opinion.
I think someone back there said that the busing fees would cost, what would it cost to bus young people? Did anybody want to make comments? I heard somebody say something about that.
Well, one of the things about busing, as we stated earlier, not only will we be busing children from Dalton to Harvey and South Holland, those children who participate in after-school activities for the first year, we'd have to bus them from and Thornwood all the way back to Thornridge every day, there and back. So we're talking about spending probably millions of dollars more in transportation costs, and our money should be going to educating our children. Absolutely. And getting them to reach adequate yearly progress. So we just say this whole plan doesn't make any sense fiscally or in any way. So we don't know what's the motivation behind the plan. And myself, I was a teacher at Dirksen Middle School, and from my professional opinion, putting 1,800 freshmen in one building is going to be a lot of chaos. I've talked to security professionals, I've talked to administrators, and everyone I've talked to outside of District 205 administrators thinks that the whole idea is completely absurd. And so for the best for our community is for the schools to remain the way they are, and for us to pour more resources into Thornridge to bring us online with the other two schools. Thank you.
I disagree with everything. I think that it's very, just not smart.
Good morning, Mayor. How are you today?
Very good, and you?
Good. I'm doing well. We have a couple of students that would like to ask you some questions about the concerning issues that's surrounding making Thornridge High School a freshman-only center.
Okay.
All right.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good
My
morning.
name is Anise, and I was wondering, how do you feel about the freshman academy that's going to be at Thornridge this year?
Well, personally, I'm against it. The reason I'm against it is bringing together 13 different towns, students from 13 different towns, is not a good idea, in my opinion, because young people these days seem to be of the mindset that this is my turf and you shouldn't be here. Although I don't think it should be that way. It's just the way that it is in these days and times. Bringing in that many freshmen will create a lot of problems. Freshmen create the most problems in high schools. I know that, having been an educator, serving as a classroom teacher, as an assistant principal, and the principal. I know that freshmen give the most problems, and I think that's a bad idea.
All right, thank you for your opinion.
Okay.
My name is Devin, and I was wondering, well, I live in Markham, of course, and I was asking some 8th graders, do y'all like going to, since next year they might change it, do y'all want to go to Thornridge? Most of them said no, because they just didn't want to go all the way out there because it didn't make no type of sense why they had to change it this way. They wanted to know why.
Well, I'm not the person making that decision, but the why is, it seems that the school board is saying they have gotten some money for that purpose, some $18 million. $18 million won't go very far when you start transporting students from 13 different towns. I understand that this money is to be spread out over 3 years. So that's averaging about $6 million a year. After that 3 years and the money has been used up, what happens then? The taxpayers have to pick it up. So they're not going to convert the schools back, so you'll have to spend another $18 million or $6 million each year to continue that program. Additional money that was added to the budget that wasn't there before. And that money has to come from somewhere, so it has to come from the taxpayers.
Oh, I have another question.
Certainly.
So do you think that this will actually help the education, or would this make it a bad idea?
I don't think it's going to help education. I think it's a total bad idea, mainly for the reasons that I stated earlier. However, there are many contributing factors. First of all, when there is no high school in a community, it tends to bring down the property value. when there are siblings in a household. You're in 8th grade, say, for an example, and you have a brother who's 10th grade and a sister who's 11th grade. Well, they are looking to you to come to the school where they are. But if they disperse them somewhere else and you're in another location, then your parents have to look at, oh, wow, what is this? Now my kids are not together. I expected them to go to the same high school, and now we have one starting over here and two over there. So it creates disruption within the family unit, and I think that's a problem too.
Okay.
Children, they don't get along with other children they're going to be worried about they're not going to be concentrated in classes. They're going to be worried about what's going to happen after class and during lunch, about the chaos and stuff that's going to go on. So I don't agree with it at all. And I don't want for example, Darian Albert, he got bussed out of his comfort zone and he got killed because he went to a different school in a different town, and I don't think that's right at all, because that can happen to somebody else. So I think they should just keep it the same.
Thank you. Also, we were talking about something earlier. What about if you missed the bus? If you missed the bus, say that this happens and you missed the bus, and what do you get when you get to school? You get a what?
You mostly will get a tardy pass, or you probably go in task or in school for missing the bus. Because I go to Thornwood, and if you missed the bus and you missed the second bus, but the first bus came early and you didn't know, and the second bus came early, then you got to call in. But if you didn't have a house phone or a cell phone, you couldn't call in. Your friends was at school, you had nothing to do, and you try to tell some of the people, they wouldn't listen. Then you probably had to get which called a re-entry slip, and you'll get automatic detention for that.
So you're saying that you'll get an automatic detention, and after so many, don't you get? I think somebody said suspended.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if you miss the bus, you're unable to walk, you'll get it after so many tardies, you get suspended.
Yes.
So, and you said that possibly you don't have a phone.
Right.
You don't have a home phone, you don't have a cell phone. So is that a positive move?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I would like for the people involved in these communities to get more involved, to come out, participate, and support the effort of those parents who are trying to change this situation and let that not come to fruition. Because eventually, whether you are a parent or just a person living in one of these communities, it's going to affect you adversely, because it's going to affect your taxes. And those taxes that you pay will be going to support a program that has not been proven to be of any value to children. And I have to say it like I see it. This is not about children, it's about money.
You can come.